Good evening, friends. In front of you with the future trends, and I'm going to discuss very interesting data point in front of you. And when I also look at the data, I was also a little surprised positively. So I'm going to discuss that future trend data with you. At the end of the webinar, I also have a very interesting slide for you where I need your feedback on what I should cover in my Equity Outlook 2024. We want to collaborate with you. We want your suggestion and how you can send across your suggestion. That also I will discuss that. But before that, a small disclaimer that this webinar is only for an education purpose. Whenever you invest in the equity market, it carries a little higher amount of risk. Please consult your financial advisor before buying or selling any stock, and past performance is no indicator of a future returns. With this, what are the trends that we are going to discuss today? We all want to know what FIs are doing, am I right? And FIs are nothing but a function of what allocations they can do, because as you know that many FIs basically look at the various indices, and if India's weightage goes up, they bound to follow. Of course, they can underweight or overweight, but they more or less they are bound to follow. So I'm going to discuss how India's weight over the years in the MSCI emerging index is rising. This year was a little challenging year due to the global uncertainty. So what happened to the services exports that include IT software? Retail investors continue to love mid and small caps, and I'm going to showcase with the data point. And hotel industry, what has been the trend in terms of average room? And I'll give you a very interesting date which happened with me. I'll say that telecom sector, whether the ARPU is increasing or not, and if yes, which player ARPU is increasing faster as compared to the other player. Auto sales growth. Why we are talking about auto sales? Because November was a month for the celebration. Diwali was there. So what happened to the auto sales? That auto sales fired up, and Bitcoin. What a year it was for the Bitcoin, despite so many negative news we had seen that. So I'm going to cover all this, and I'll also tell you what Bitcoin has to do with the equity market, which I discussed that in one of the future 10 webinar also, but I'll again re-emphasize on that. So let's try to understand now. India's weightage in MSCI emerging market is rising. And what is the weight rising? In 2014, we were just 6.4% of the total. So if suppose someone who is putting a passive fund based on MSCI emerging market, out of 100 rupees that he's going to collect, only 6 rupees will go to the India. That weight as of November 2023 is gone to 15.6%. In other words, more than double. Not more than double, more than 150% jump in just 10 years. As I speak to you, China is the highest with about 28% or so. We are little below Taiwan, sorry. And most probably the way Indian market is performing, I would not be surprised in the month of December itself, India could be at number 2. I have a strong belief, and my assumption is that India would be very closer to China in next 5 years. Now, why this data is very, very critically important. Remember that. This will give you an indication about how much India can attract FI inflow. And that's very, very critical, because that also will help us to understand what kind of returns we can expect from the equity market, because we need FIs, we need retail investors also, both, am I right? It's not either and or. So if that happens, what happens to the Indian equity market? So I think it's a very interesting data that we need to be watching out very, very carefully. Let's look at the services exports. So what we have done actually, we have looked at last 5 years, April to November 2019. Why in 2019? Purely because that was a pure year without any impact of the COVID. And then in 2020, it did impact, am I right? Everyone knows that COVID hit us. Not us, but everyone. So service export declined. Fortunately, we recovered very fast and we moved away above the pre-COVID level also. But last year, that is 2022, was a phenomenal year. 158 to 208 US billion dollar export. And the growth, even though there is a growth, the growth moderated purely because of the global uncertainty. The point I wish to convey here, as and when there will be a global uncertainty, our service exports will take a beating. In first 8 months, that's from April till November, our growth moderated to only 6% as compared to 31% of 2022. So this gives an idea. So my request to all of you, when you look at some of the service related sector, look at what's happening in the global uncertainty, and that's going to define what kind of exports growth that we can see. These are numbers, these are all linked. So the moment you start look at the data in a very क्या impact हो सकता है, how do you basically use the data to create the link, you will come to know what action you should be doing it. Number 3, retail investors. They love mid and small cap. आप चाहो या ना चाहो, and this despite the so-called rich valuation. Like in the month of September, one leading broking house came out with a report saying that rich valuations, but retail investors वो कुछ समझता नहीं है. Look at this month's collection. Mid and small cap are continuing the darling of the investors. Only thing in the month of November, small cap has little lower than what it was there in the month of October. But mid cap continues to get, and overall, anything in excess of 6,000 crore is a very good numbers. And I think valuation doesn't matter. One of the reasons why we keep seeing the valuation are the really in the mid and small cap, because retail inflow to the mid and small cap mutual fund continues to remain robust. And if you remember, I came in front of you, or maybe to my PMS customers, I gave a data analysis on what percentage is owned by the mutual fund in the large cap, mid and small cap, what kind of inflows coming in, and due to that, do we see this mid and small cap can coming down significantly? And that's what exactly this data suggests. The funds remains very, very strong. And as long as the fund remains very, very strong, every decline in the mid and small cap could be temporary. Why? Because it can bounce back purely because of liquidity. So fund manager, even if it decides to take some little bit cash call, he cannot continue to do the cash call. Why? Because he will start underperforming very significantly to the overall market because of the cash call. Because cash call will not earn any income, but index will keep surging, and due to that, he or she will underperform. So data flow continues to remain very, very strong for the mid and small cap. If you really wish to know what can happen to the mid and small cap, I'm giving you little smarter investors. So what data you should look at it, and trend you should look at it to understand whether the mid and small cap will do well or not. If the fund flow is strong, they can continue to do very well. Hotel industry, that a very good year. See, 2023, everything was right for the hotel industry. Why? Revenge spending, global tourism coming back, India hosting G20, India hosting World Cup. That means what? And we have seen that, when there was a final match, or when there was a India-Pakistan match in Ahmedabad, the price of hotel room went as high as 2 lakhs per night. And we also read a story that people book in hospital and whatnot to do that. Now, if you look at the real estate, this is only for the listed companies. So because the data is available only for the listed companies. We have this ticket data was only for the listed company. If you look at how the realization has been happening, the quarter on quarter, that is from June to September, some of the companies have seen realization coming down. For example, Taj 9128 to 8826. Salette Hotels from 10,000 to 9616. I'm looking at this data. Okay. If you look at Brigade, so Brigade is more of a real estate company, but 10% revenue comes from the hospitality. 6214 to 6166. And Phoenix, which is a St. Regis here, 12,000 to 11,000. They decline actually. But if you look at the Y-on-Y, they have shown increase. So what this data suggests, and I'll give you a very classical thing which happened with me. And we also all need to learn from others' mistakes or others' learnings, am I right? The reason I'm sharing with you because you can also learn and you can use my experience in your benefit. So I was in Indore from last Thursday to Sunday. 3 nights, 4 days. And through one of the aggregator, I booked Indore Marriott. I booked it and it says you can cancel this booking till 12 December midnight. That is 11:59 p.m. Out of curiosity, when I booked it was almost 15 days in advance. After a few days when I checked this, on the same hotel aggregator company, I saw the same room for the same days available less than 7,000 rupees. Total amount, not the per this one. What as a smart thing you would do? I cancel the previous booking through the same website for the same hotel and the same room. I booked again and I got 7,000 rupees saving for 3 nights, which works out to me about 2,000 or something. This one. I want to tell you, I think the learning I want to tell you is that even if you book your rooms, keep checking that website, and for some reason if you are getting at a better rate closer to your stay and if the permission is allowed to cancel, please cancel and rebook that. We don't do that. हम लोग एक बार booking कर लेते फिर छोड़ देते हैं. I will give another classical example. What happened? My daughter was traveling to Goa, Bombay to Goa. And she was little this one, so she booked 2 months in advance, thinking that the rate which I am getting is cheaper. We paid 10,000 rupees one way. Just before, 2 days before her flight, we again checked that same flight was available for 3,300 rupees. This is the difference. Same flight, same timing, same carrier, and the difference. So sometimes we believe, and I think the government is coming out with that, how they basically manipulate the data. So you will forced to buy something at the higher price. I think it's needed because this is what has happened with me also. So I'm giving you the live example. So learning for all of you is that just do it, booking, so that your mental peace is there. Of course, in airline, that possibility is not there, I believe. Why? Because they don't normally charge you this one. If you do the corporate booking, I think they allow you to do free cancellation. But at least in hotels booking, you do have a window of cancelling without any charges. And if the rooms are, so what you should do, you should book it. The only option is that वो ज़्यादा है तो आपको कुछ करना नहीं, because anyway you booked it. For some reason, if it goes down price, please cancel existing booking and rebook that, and I think you will save the money. And that's where you can do that. Coming back to this one, my sense is that average rates per room should decline going forward. Why? In India, we don't have G20, we don't have World Cup now in India. And due to that, the tourism that got attracted will take some beating. And that's why you will see rates coming down. In fact, I keep getting a lot of emails. So some of the hotel chains get, we are offering, if you book now, and if you stay till March 2024, you will get 20% discount, kind of stuff. And I think that should happen. In fact, I tell you one more thing. Uh, if you go to restaurant, you can definitely bargain also in 5 star. I'm talking about 5 star restaurant. Okay, they do give you discount on your restaurant bill. People don't basically, they are afraid to bargain. Am I right? But if you do that, they will easily give you 20% discount on your restaurant bill. Only thing, the way you ask, it's all the more reason. I'll give you a classical example. In Marriott also, I did not have a part of my booking, the lunch or the dinner there. But we reached in the afternoon, I was hungry, so I asked at the reception, can we have it meal by the time you make our room ready? And he said, sir, definitely. And I asked him, what's the rate? He said, some 2,500 plus taxes or something. Can you imagine? I got it only for 1,000 rupees plus GST. So I think somewhere you need to ask, and sometimes the worst case scenario, they will say no, but this is the best way you can. There is nothing, कुछ मांगने में क्या जाता है, पूछने में क्या जाता है. And I think something similar you should do that. Anyway, I just digress from this. Now, telecom sector. See, we all started using 5G service. From 4G, we moved to the 5G. But the benefit of that doesn't seem to be what you call. People are not willing to pay that kind of a premium for using that 5G services. So if you look at the average revenue per user for the telecom companies, has not significantly gone up. 163 has gone to 203 for Bharti Airtel. Okay, their aim is to take it to 300 rupees. But I think that generally seems to be more long and little tedious. But what surprised me is that Bharti Airtel, the ARPU between Bharti Airtel and Jio is widening. Kaise? 163 and 149. So there was a difference of 14 rupees. Am I right? When you look at here, 178 to 130, it was difference of 15 rupees. Then 179 to 193. So basically क्या हो गया? 21 plus 7, 14 रुपये का फर्क हो गया. Then here it increased to 19 rupees. Am I right? And here it's almost again 19 rupees. 19 to 21 rupees हो गया ना? Yeah, 21 rupees. So that trend is increasing. So what does it indicate? That somewhere Bharti Airtel has been able to raise the price, while Jio is able to do it, not as much as it allowed to do it. And due to that, what was 14 rupees in March 2020 is gone up to 21 rupees between Jio and the Bharti Airtel. And of course, Vodafone continues to be the poor cousins of Bharti and Jio. Its ARPU continues to remain very, very low there. So I think that's what the data interesting coming out. Now let's look at the auto sales. And the reason I'm talking about auto sales because I wanted to understand what happened during the Diwali time. Please note this data is from the FADA, not from the SIAM. The reason I wanted to see, I actually wanted to see the retail sales, not the manufacturer wholesale sales. Because SIAM gives a data of manufacturing selling it to distributor. FADA gives a data of dealer to the actual retailers. Am I right? And when you look at it, I was surprised that passenger vehicles only 2% growth, despite it was Diwali. Tractor sales is down purely because of what's happening in the agri side, but even commercial vehicles are down by minus 5%. And commercial vehicles are also down as compared to what it was there in November 2022. So both show a Y-on-Y decline. Whatever the growth that we saw in the month of November, purely driven by the two-wheeler. Two-wheeler has been little laggards. Let me be very frank with you in last few years. And that actually drove the sales almost 7 lakhs. And whatever the growth that you see in this, the 35% growth, mainly driven by the two-wheelers. Not others have basically participated very significantly in the overall growth of the auto numbers. Then we look at another data. And before I come to that, let's look at this. You assume that, in pre-COVID, that is November 2019, assume that is 100 base. And if I have to look at it, the growth doesn't seem to be very, very strong for the two-wheelers. The only thing, somewhere the passenger vehicle did extremely well. 100 has become 132. But now that growth seems to be now tapering. That's got the message coming out little loud and clear. And something similar that we got to see in the inventory level with the distributor, which was 52 days for four-wheelers, has now increased to 63 days. And same way for two-wheelers, which was 21 days inventory, has gone to 35 days inventory. Lower the inventory, better. Higher the inventory, matlab it will take 35 days for them to liquidate the inventory that they have, and 63 days, matlab that will take 2 months for them to liquidate the inventory for them. I think that's something not very happy sign. For some reason, demand does not come up. I think they are going to face problem in terms of the inventory level, and then you can expect some discounts coming in and some promos coming in. If someone would have told you in beginning of 2023 कि Bitcoin ले लो चलेगा, you would not have believed that. Even I would not have believed it. Forget about you. Even I would not have believed it. The fact is that it is up by 160% in a year. 160. And if I have to compare all the assets class, this was the best assets class. Of course, it's not an assets class, but anyway, I'm putting as in this one. Now, what does that have to do with the equity market? There is a linkage. Whenever, and again, I'm making you smarter investor by, because I'll tell you why it has to be looked at this way. When Bitcoin goes up, that means there is a risk-on strategy with the investors. And when there is a risk-on strategy, the growth stock will do well, equity market should do well. When there is a risk-off strategy, equity market may not do well. And if that is so, you should not this. So sometimes movement in the Bitcoin also gives an idea in which direction the market will go. So that's the smart learning that you need to have it. Now let's look at the positive trend, strong growth. And what really surprised me is that, look at this growth happening. Is increasing. Y on Y growth in the GST class is increasing. It was 10% for the month of September, which increased to 13% for October. It further increased to 15% for the month of November. And I think that's a very good data point. I think India will see a robust growth collection both on indirect and direct in 2020, FY 2024. And that would really help government to take care of the other expenses which has gone up. And I do expect the diesel and petrol prices to come down before the election. Major news: onion prices have halved because of export ban, and second thing, fresh supply coming in. Crude oil prices have gone up by 6% in last 1 week, purely because of Red Sea problem. There, Houthi has been attacking the commercial tankers that really spurred. FIs have really gone a little berserk and invested 57,000 crore just in the month of December. And both Sensex and Nifty declined by 0.5% in this week. With this, I want your suggestion. As you know that in the first week of January, every January, I come out with my equity outlook 2024. If you think I should cover some more topics in that, or you want some insights from my side, please write to me on this email ID, that is outlook2024@mojopms.com. Please remember, this is a temporary email ID. This email ID will be valid only till 23rd December 2023. So today we are 22nd December. 11:59 on 23rd December, this email ID will get discontinued. So please write to me on that. Just to make you aware, anyway, I am covering these topics in my equity outlook. So in case if you wish to putting the same thing, don't write to me, because anyway I am covering that. How many rate cuts from Fed and RBI in 2024? How crude oil will behave in 2024? Should we expect FI inflows to remain positive in 2024, because 2022 was negative, 2023 is positive? Should we expect another year of positive? What kind of impact general election result will have on the market? Will gold and silver keep rising in 2024? Which strategy will outperform, growth or the value? what is the downside risk to the Nifty, and what equity market can give returns in 2024. Will this mid and small cap will continue and extend the rally in 2024 or not, and which are the sectors that you should be watching out for 2024. So anyway, I'm covering these 10 topics in my over and above that. You want me to cover anything else, please feel free to write to me at outlook2024@mojopms.com, because we want to collaborate with you. This email ID is valid only till 23rd December 2023. With this, let's open the floor. Okay, Mukherjee sir is asking, what is the major sector rotation that may take place in 2000? Is it possible to provide stock of the week? Mojo 1, maybe at the cost per year. Sir, you have asked a right question to the wrong person. So stock of the week, I think you should ask Karan or Mohit, and I think they are the best person to respond to that, because I don't talk about stock specific now, because I moved to the PMS side of the business and regulatory doesn't allow me to do that. So please ask, and it's a good suggestion, and they are the best person to answer that. Which sector rotation and which will take place, which sector should do well. Anyway, as I said, I'm going to cover in my presentation in first week of 2024, and I think that question will get answered. I don't want to right now give that answer right now, because it will take away the excitement of 2024. Syam is asking, what could be the impact of stock prices of the diagnostic companies on the recent increase in COVID cases in the country? Will they stand to benefit in any way? In a way, yes, sir. What benefit that will be is all function of how many cases happens, how many people, how many doctors advise them to go for diagnostic test and so on and so forth. Is the government putting any restriction that before you flying in or flying out, you need to have a compulsory COVID test and so on and so forth? These are all the function of that. Will that increase substantial revenue? The answer is no. My sense is no, because I don't see COVID becoming a more of a major issue, and hence people going for a COVID test. See, I will tell you, in the 3 waves of COVID that took place, only once I wait for the COVID test. And that was when I wanted to go to Gujarat by a car, and there was a restriction that, the moment you cross the border, you must have the COVID test. So that's why I went for the COVID test. But that was, I think, in the 2nd wave or something. But 3rd wave में ऐसा कुछ condition नहीं. I don't think this is going to result into a major spike in the revenue for diagnostic company because of COVID test. But otherwise, we do get a sense that some of the diagnostic company should do well. Why they should do well? Purely because of consolidation that is happening in the sector. And second thing, the pricing power coming back. Some of these startup company offering diagnostic services at very competitive rates. That rates are no longer available, and hence the overall revenue per customer for diagnostic companies should go up. That's our sense. So don't mix my statement with the COVID. COVID is a separate segment where I don't see much of a revenue, but despite that, I am little bullish on the diagnostic sector. Captain Sanjay sir is asking, I would be good to get monthly person comparison chart of your PMS with other PMS. Do you pick stocks for PMS for the same database of Mojo, turnaround, momentum, reliable strategy? So 2 questions. Would it be good to get monthly person comparison chart of PMS with other PMS? Sir, it is a useless exercise. Why it is a useless exercise? I'll explain you why. Sometime we will do well, sometime someone else will do well. On what basis you will come to, like what? See, and I have a very simple philosophy. Will this data help me to take my decision? The answer is no. In fact, it will help me to take wrong decision. Then why should we present the data? You tell me after 3 years and give us a comparison. कि boss, तुम्हारा performance कैसा था versus other PMS schemes in 3 years, and are you in top quartile? I'll be more than happy to do that. But monthly performance has no meaning. Is it going to define your okay? What will you okay? If I give you that information, what will you do with that information? What is actionable information in that? Nothing, zero. आप क्या करोगे उस इन्फॉर्मेशन लेके? कुछ नहीं करोगे. और आप करना चाहोगे I would suggest please urge you not to do that. अगर हम लोग अच्छा करें, what will you do with that? आप ज़्यादा पैसा डालोगे? मैं बोलता मत करना वो. Because 1 month performance आप करना चाहोगे, then you will always be basically jumping from one wagon to another wagon. और अगर समझ लो 1 महीने में खराब किया, will you take out your money? 1 month में. I think that's not the right way. So that's why I'm saying the data should help you to take actionable this one. We are discussing, we had this our IC meeting, and there was a suggestion that we should look at on daily basis how many portfolios are outperforming, so that we keep doing that on the profits and so on and so. Then someone suggested, is it the same client doing outperforming or not, or is it a different client? Well, how does it matter? Basically, because overall you are getting a picture. So sometimes we need to look at the data in a more, which helps you to take a decision. And that's what basically Nate said. Now, do you pick up stocks from PMS for the same database of Mojo? Answer is no. We have a different IP altogether. Will turnaround momentum reliable strategy will be part of Mojo's PMS strategy? It could be. Right now it is not. In future it could be, because we are doing a back testing. And based on the back testing, we'll come back to that, whether we should have as a part of our PMS strategy or not. To give you answer, PMS has a different strategy. It is a different IP altogether. It is a different score altogether, which are not available on the website, and hence stock selections are function of different IP for Mojo PMS. If our backtesting suggests that yes, we should around turnaround, we should around momentum and this thing in our part of our PMS, then we'll see how much it should be. Should it be 10%? Should it be 15%? Should it be 20%? Should it be 5% each? And so on and so forth. And we'll come back to you with that in the future. Right now, answer is no. Alkesh is saying, what are your views on the growth rate of infrastructure company? Because India is set to allocate nearly 143 lakh crore for infrastructure in 7 fiscal year through 2020, more than twice of the 16 lakh crore spent in previous standard as per CRISIL. So, sir, if you remember, Alkesh ji, when the budget was presented on the 1st Feb 2023, we suggested that capital goods should do extremely well. Why? Because government added 10.5 lakh crore in the budget, which was an unprecedented amount. Am I right? 10.5%? Yeah. If my memory serves, yes, that's the right number. Which was an unprecedented number, and I think these numbers are going to go up, because if India has to really take on China, the one thing that we need to improve is on our infrastructure, whether it's a ports, whether it's a dedicated freight corridors, and so on and so forth. I think India has to really move up, and what government has an aim in terms of the growth, we need to spend money on infra. So I subscribe to the views of CRISIL that we need to spend more and more money on the infra. And due to that, not only the company, those who are executing projects, but you would need more cement, you would need more steel and other ancillary things. You need more commercial vehicles, you need more trailers, you need more forklifts, you need so many other things which are going to benefit. So that you need to understand the complete ecosystem is going to expand very, very significantly due to the infra spend. So yes, I'm bullish on infra as a theme. I think we should do extremely well on infra. It's more of a necessity than the luxury. Let me put it this way. Mukund sir is saying, as per Sanjay Jumani, numerically 2000 will be a downtrend. Can you say about downtrend in Jan or March 2024? Sir, can I request you to please wait? We are in the last week of 2023. As I promise you, I'll going to cover my equity outlook for 2024 in the first week of January. So my request, sir, 7 दिन के लिए रुक जाओ ना. मैं आपको जवाब दे दूंगा मुकुंद जी. Oh, thank you, Nirav ji. Sir, your background is pretty good from the previous one. Please carry forward in future webinars. Please add your presentation in Mojo. We are creating download presentation option. So thanks a lot. I think a lot of credit should go to Amit. I think he does a lot of hard work in terms of background. So Amit, I think congratulations to you. As people are liking it actually. And please add your presentation in Mojo by creating download presentation option. So sir, we don't do that. What we do is that those who are our Mojo PMS customers, and when we do dedicated Mojo PMS webinar, we do send across the presentation to them through email also. So even in future, if they wish to refer our presentation, they can do that. And we also send the link to them of the video also to them. But that's we don't do it when there are non-Mojo PMS customers in the webinar. So we don't do that. It's a good suggestion, sir. I'll think about it, but right now it's not available. Abhishek is saying, where can we see the funds inflow towards mid and small cap? Sir, it's all available in mfindia.com. mfi India is a association of mutual fund of India. It's an association of mutual fund. mfindia.com. AMFI India.com. You go there and you will get the data available. In fact, I would urge and request everyone, please go to that website. They have beautiful data information. In fact, it's the way the data has been presented by MFI India is beautifully done. That will give an idea of what's happening with the various funds, various schemes, and so on and so forth. And their data are very, very granular. I must appreciate that. Ankul, namaste. Congratulations, Nifty 29 cement sector facing headwinds. What is expected of cement sector in days to come? Ankulji, I think, when I look at the data of the cement sector, so I look at, so cement has a very strong correlation with the GDP growth. If you look at the GDP growth, then you have a multiplier for cement. So on one hand, you see the growth that can happen. That's the additional demand that can come for the cement. At the same time, you should look at the capacity expansion. And somewhere it's becoming very, very clear cut that supply will outstrip the demand. I again repeat the statement. Supply will outstrip the demand. And if that's going to happen, the pricing power is not going to come. And if that's not going to come, then how do we basically expand your margin? So I think that's going to remain a little challenge there. Having said that, mid and small cap companies should do extremely well purely because of not that they are going to do well financially, but they are potential takeover candidates. And if something which is available at a lower price to EV per ton, that is enterprise value per ton, if the existing promoters want to sell, they will definitely ask for their pound of flesh in that. And that could result into a better price appreciation. So my sense is that mid and small cement companies should do better as compared to large cement companies. That's what my understanding is. Nimesh is saying, sir, please brief some details about PMSV data for Mojo customers. Sir, we'll definitely do that. Right now, I don't have the data readily available. But what I will do, maybe in one of these webinars, I'll give you data of how both our schemes are doing, Mojo Soul and Mojo Power with you. Definitely good point, sir. So what I'll do, I think as a good practice, maybe once a month, I'll give this data to all of you so you can understand how good we are performing or how bad we are performing. Satish is asking, as per you generally would not recommend to invest in specific even use Mojo strong buy stock or always suggest to invest as per the model portfolio with diversification. Then what is the purpose of Mojo stock? Instead of can we not have a predefined portfolio from you apart from model portfolio? Satish sir, we serve to investors with different kind of a mindset all across the world, not only across the country, across the world. Some customers want to take stock specific approach. Some customers want to take portfolio approach and so on and so forth. We are like a buffet available in a 5-star. You pick what you like the most. If you want portfolio, model portfolio is available. If you are an HNI investors and want to invest in PMS, we are available in PMS. You say, no, I want to have a stock specific because I have certain bias against certain companies and I don't like certain sectors, I don't want to this. We have a stock selection. You pick and choose what you like. So we are giving all the options available to the customers because we serve the diverse set of investors and hence we don't want to basically be rigid. Say कि हम लोग यही देगा, ये नहीं देगा. It is not good. So that's why we are very flexible and that's why we give you Mojo stock. We give model portfolio. We have a PMS service if your customer is more than 50 lakhs. You can pick and choose what suits you the best. Sam said that if in your infinite PMS service, what is the average minimum maximum difference between various portfolios in terms of stocks held? Example, if two portfolios get exactly the same stock, may not be the same purchase price, then difference will be zero. So in your infinite PMS service, what is the average minimum and maximum difference between various portfolios in terms of stocks held? So it would be very different, sir, because we don't follow a model portfolio concept in our PMS. Every customer can have a different portfolio altogether. Even if the portfolio, the stocks are same, the weightage would be different. So, for example, if two portfolios get exactly the same stock, may not be the same purchase price, then difference will be zero. No, I'm not getting your question. If the same stocks get the same price, then why difference will be zero? Because we are buying at the different price, am I right? If purchase price is different, then the difference will not be the zero. No, it will be different. So I think if I have understood your question correctly, we don't follow model portfolio in PMS. Every customer can have a different set of stocks depending on when it comes or she comes to the system. There are many customers who have also transferred shares. Instead of giving money, they are transferring shares, stocks. So that is a holding. And if the holding that they are transferring to us in PMS is our part of a master list, we continue to hold those companies. There is nothing that we can do about it because it's a part of master list. Someone gives us the money, then we'll generate advice as per our IP and we'll generate the stocks. That's what we do actually. So in a way, portfolio returns would differ from a customer to customer. What we are saying over a period of 3 years, the return would be very, very similar. I'm not saying exactly similar. What those customers would portfolios 3 years and more old, and if you look at the 3 years return for each one of them, it would be more or less similar. For example, just to give you an example, if I have to do fast forward, and if I go to 2027, and if I look at 2027, then any customers who was there in 2023, they would have very similar returns by 2027. That's what I'm trying to say. Irrespective of what the starting of the portfolio construct would be. But eventually, the portfolio will get churned, portfolio will get allocated. Some stocks in some portfolio may not work in for a certain period. In someone it would have worked and vice versa. And eventually, that will play out in 3 years period. I hope that answers your question, Sam Sundarji. For someone who is not, feel free to put it again. Satish says, dear Sunil, thank you and your team for all the guidance for 2000. We hope the same. We move forward to 2000. This is one chemical stock which cracked 10% in one day due to China company production up. Do you still is in favor? I don't know, sir, which company you are talking about. I am not aware about that. If you are referring to some company which happened, this is old news that you are referring to. I don't think much because management gone on the record saying they don't expect much to impact that because of that. But if you are referring to some other companies, which has happened today, sorry, I am not aware about that. But I think it's old news that you are referring to. I think management came in and clarified they don't expect. In fact, they maintain their guidance also, what they've given before this news coming in. So, no major impact. Rao sir is keen. Okay, sir, I'll do that. Can you say the email? Is it visible? Outlook 2024 @mojopms.com. Please note that this email ID is a temporary email ID. This email ID will get discontinued by 23rd December, 11:59 p.m. Let's move on to the next question, please. Bandari said, please give outlook of Nifty in December. Will it going upward? सर अभी दिसंबर तो खत्म होने को है, अभी 7 दिन का देखे में क्या करोगे आप उसका? Will you put more money for 1 week or so? We continue to maintain our Nifty 50 target of 20,100. In fact, it's overshot now. We are in excess of 21,000. I always, I was today I wanted to tweet. I did not tweet because I just did not get a time. But whatever further gain that's going to happen in this market now from this level is going into the gain from 2024 gain. So that's what's going to happen. So that's what my sense is. So yes, today the momentum is very, very strong. People want in a buying mode. We need to wait and watch how much more it can go up from this level by 31st December 2023. But it hardly matters, sir. We are all investors. So, Bhandare sir, क्या होगा उससे? You don't take a view on the market based on 1 week, which direction market is going to go. Syam Sundar sir is saying, what are the key differences in stock selection category between Infinity, PMS and Mojo portal? I mean, addition to market cap and stock weightage. So sir, I think the market cap is a very, very critical. So for example, in Seoul, we can go up to 100% in small cap also, or in mid cap or large cap. Now that substantially change the color of your portfolio construct itself. If you look at our model portfolio, we have certain restriction for each category of risk profile, how much we can take exposure to one particular market cap. Same way, we have a restriction in each category of model portfolio, how much we can take exposure to the sector. There are no such restriction in the PMS portfolio. Between the soul and the power, we will only go up to small cap. In power, only up to 20% in small cap. That's it. But there are no kind of this one. And in PMS, I can have 7 stocks portfolio also. Am I right? So I think, sir, these differences are very huge in terms of my market cap allocation, because that can completely change the construct of the portfolio, my sector allocation, and again, stock. And as I told you, the IP of Infinity PMS is different as compared to the model portfolio. In other words, even the stock selection, stock allocation, market cap allocation, these are various variants. They are different as compared to model portfolio. Do we have? Okay. There is no change advice for long time for my model portfolio. Is this a normal or is there any problem with my subscription? Please advise. Peter sir, 99% should not be any problem with your what you call. There is nothing wrong with the. There are no advice for long term in the model portfolio. My request would be just if you can, Amit, just please jot down the email ID and please pass it on to Karan. Karan will definitely look into this. Is there any problem with your subscription or not? Because I will not be able to tell you, sir, anything right now. I don't have access to the data also, but I will be able to comment on that. But definitely, someone from our team will definitely get back to you, sir. 99.99% should not be any problem with the model portfolio. Only thing subscription, I don't have the data, so I will not be able to tell you, sir. Vishal is saying, what is your perspective on railway sector in the near future? What do you anticipate? If you can share the analysis of emerging market by considering major corporate events can be advantages for both short-term and long-term investors for us. So my sense on railway continues to remain a little bullish. I think Government of India, as someone was asking about infra, railway is also part of the infra. I think government has a very right intent and they will do well. So my sense is that railway as a sector looks extremely promising, not only for near future, but also from medium to long term perspective. So I don't think, someone asked me the other day on TV channel that do you think defense and railway has played out the story? And I said, the way infra did from 2003 to 2007, something similar can happen with the railway and the defense. Okay, what was the second leg of the question? Sorry, Abel, you are very quick in terms of remembering the question. If you can share the analysis of emerging markets by considering major corporate events can be advantages for both short-term and long-term investment for us. तो सर इमर्जिंग मार्केट का कॉर्पोरेट इवेंट से आई डोंट ट्रैक इट, आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट विथ यू, बिकॉज आई डोंट इन्वेस्ट इन द इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स. नाउ उसको ट्रैक करके फायदा क्या है? इफ यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू टेक इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन, आई थिंक व्हाट यू शुड बी कंसर्न अबाउट कि जो स्टॉक्स मैंने लिए हैं उसमें क्या इवेंट्स है, आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड. बट इमर्जिंग मार्केट में कौन सी कंपनी क्या कर रही है, हाउ डज इट मैटर टू यू? बिकॉज आर यू गोइंग टू बाय और सेल दैट कंपनी बिकॉज यू डोंट ओन. सो आप सेल भी नहीं करोगे, बाय कैसे करोगे? बिकॉज आपके पास तो ब्रोकर भी नहीं होगा, आप यू डोंट नो हाउ टू गो अबाउट बाइंग ऑल्सो दैट. So that exercise, I don't know how it's going to help you unless I'm missing some larger points. So please correct me, sir, and I'll be more than happy to get corrected myself. Nanda Kumar sir saying, can you advise how we should plan exit of sales? How do you reinvest the proceeds? Sir, exit of the sales is very simple. I have said many times on the webinar. If you are a Mojo professional customer, you score up the company, hold as long as the score is 60. If it goes below 60, then look at the trend. If the price is moving up or moving down. If it's moving up, remain invested. If it's moving down, exit. How we should reinvest that profit? Simple. Buy any of the Mojo stock, which gives you the comfort level. So if you are getting out from small cap, I would suggest go for the small cap Mojo stock. If you are getting out of mid cap, go into all mid cap Mojo stocks, and so on and so forth. Or if you like certain particular sector, pick up that particular sector and reinvest the profit. Very simple. In PMS, everything we take care of. You don't want to worry anything about it. Ashish sir, in the model portfolio, the trades are executed by you, sir. In model portfolio, our job is to advise you. Whether you follow or don't follow, it's always up to you. We are not executing any trade on your behalf. We are neither a broker for you, sir. Everything we just saying this we believe is good company. If you get convinced, please go ahead and buy. And we tell you such quantity also. So that's how everything has to be done by you in model portfolio. In PMS, we do buy and sell, but not in model portfolio. Can you attach chart and stop loss in your Mojo? It will be easy for the viewer. ठीक है sir, I'll pass on this message to Karan. I think he's the best person to do that. I don't know how stop loss will help you in investment. I don't know, but anyway, I'll pass on this to the Karan. Just pass on this message to Karan, please, Amir. So I think we may not have more questions because already on our 8. I don't want to hold you. I know it's a very long extended weekend now. It's a Christmas, so Merry Christmas everyone in advance. Please enjoy Christmas time. Tomorrow most of the people will have a gala dinner, so go and enjoy that gala dinner. I'm also going to enjoy my gala dinner tomorrow because we do have in our society we do have a restaurant, and they will basically line up a very delicious menu on 24th, so I'm going to enjoy that. Just a small reminder that I want your suggestion on what we should cover in our Outlook 2024. This is the first time we are collaborating our investors to help us to know what they want to know, and we try to cover that. Instead of making a one-way street, I want to make a two-way street. And as you can see on your screen, email ID is outlook2024@mojopms.com. Please write to us. This email ID is valid till 23rd December 2020, and we're more than happy to cover those topics that you want us to cover in this. With this, thanks a lot. Have a great time. I'll come back again in front of you next week with interesting data point. I'm sure you will thoroughly enjoy those data points. And in the first week of January, that is week after that, I'll be in front of you with Equity Outlook 2024. With this, thanks a lot. Take care.